Tesla's Robotaxi business just moved one step closer to reality, but there is one number investors cannot ignore. Tesla reportedly has 42 Robotaxi vehicles registered in Texas. Waymo reportedly has 577. So today, this is not just a story about approval. This is a story about where Tesla really stands in the autonomy race. Hi everyone, welcome back to Life in the Future. Today, we need to talk about Tesla's Robotaxi and FSD progress. Tesla has reportedly received approval in Texas for commercial Robotaxi operations. FSD v14.3.3 has reportedly completed a cross-Canada drive from Vancouver to Halifax, covering more than 6,000 kilometers. And in Europe, Estonia is now moving towards supervised FSD approval. At first glance, this all sounds very bullish. And yes, I do think this is meaningful progress. But as investors, we should not only look at the headline. The real question is this: is Tesla entering the scaling phase of autonomy, or is this still the early proof of concept phase? That difference matters a lot for TSLA. Let's start with Robotaxi. Tesla has reportedly been recognized in Texas as an operator for commercial Robotaxi operations through Tesla Robotaxi, LLC. The registered vehicles are said to be 42 Model Ys. Now, 42 vehicles will not change Tesla's earnings tomorrow, but this matters because Robotaxi is slowly moving from an idea into a regulated business. For years, Tesla autonomy has been discussed as a future opportunity, but once we start seeing registration, approval, and operating preparation, the story begins to change. It is no longer only about what Tesla says the technology can do. It becomes about where Tesla is allowed to operate, how many vehicles it can deploy, and how safely it can run the service. That is where the real business begins. But we also need to stay calm. Tesla reportedly has 42 registered Robotaxi vehicles in Texas. Waymo reportedly has 577. That is a big gap. Waymo is already ahead in real-world Robotaxi operations, especially in controlled geo-fenced areas. Tesla is taking a different path. Tesla wants to use scalable vehicles, software updates, and eventually a much larger fleet. So this is not simply Waymo is winning or Tesla is losing. It is a story of two different strategies. Waymo is ahead in operations today. Tesla may have the more scalable model if the software proves reliable enough. That is the key. If Tesla can go from 42 vehicles to 100, then 500, then 1,000, while keeping safety strong, the story changes quickly. But if Tesla struggles with safety, regulation, or edge cases, scaling will be much harder than the headline suggests. So the next milestone is not another announcement. The next milestone is fleet growth. Now, let's connect this to FSD. FSD version 14.3.3 reportedly completed a drive across Canada from Vancouver to Halifax. That is around 6,051 kilometers, and reportedly, it was completed without human intervention. This is a very impressive real-world data point. It suggests FSD continues to become more stable and capable. But a long-distance drive is not the same as a dense city Robotaxi service. In a city, the car has to deal with pedestrians, cyclists, construction zones, emergency vehicles, confusing intersections, and unpredictable human behavior. Robotaxi also adds pickup, drop-off, passenger support, safety reporting, and regulatory trust. So I do not see the Canada drive as FSD is finished. I see it as strong evidence that Tesla's software is moving in the right direction. That is important. But it is not the same as proving that Tesla can safely operate thousands of fully autonomous vehicles in major cities. That is the gap investors need to understand. Next, Europe. Estonia has reportedly approved Tesla supervised FSD following recent progress in places like the Netherlands and Lithuania. This matters because Europe is one of the most difficult regions for autonomous driving regulation. So, if Tesla can keep gaining approval country by country, that could become an important long-term signal. For owners, the question is simple. When will FSD become available in their country? For investors, the question is bigger. Can FSD become a global software business? If FSD only works commercially in a few US cities, the valuation impact is limited. But if FSD gradually expands across North America, Europe, and other major markets, the long-term software opportunity becomes much more interesting. Still, this is not a sudden European breakthrough. It is gradual progress. Slow, regulated, difficult, but potentially very valuable. There were also a few product and competition updates. Shanghai-built Model 3 premium RWD vehicles have reportedly arrived in Canada, with deliveries expected to begin soon. In India, Tesla has reportedly adjusted Model Y pricing and introduced a new premium RWD version. India is price sensitive, so product positioning will be very important. And on the competition side, Rivian's R2 performance reportedly has an EPA efficiency rating close to the Tesla Model Y performance, even though the R2 is larger and heavier. That is interesting. Tesla still has major strengths: manufacturing scale, charging network, software integration, margins, brand. But the efficiency gap is not something Tesla can take for granted forever. Competitors are improving, and that means Tesla has to keep pushing on autonomy, battery efficiency, cost, and customer experience. Finally, let's touch on the Tesla and SpaceX merger rumors. There have been reports that Elon Musk has discussed a potential Tesla-SpaceX combination with close advisors. That sounds exciting, but as investors, we need to be careful. There is no official announcement, and even if something like this were discussed, the details would matter a lot. Would Tesla shareholders benefit? Would it strengthen Tesla's mission? Or would it add complexity? So for now, I would treat this as a watch item, not the main investment thesis. The real story today is still Robotaxi and FSD execution. So let's bring this together. Tesla has taken an important step in Texas. Robotaxi is moving closer to commercial reality. But Tesla is starting with 42 registered vehicles, while Waymo reportedly has 577. That means Tesla still has a lot to prove in real-world fleet operations. FSD 14.3.3 completing a cross-Canada drive is a strong sign of technical progress. But long-distance driving and dense city robotaxi service are not the same challenge. Europe is slowly opening the door to supervised FSD. But again, this is gradual progress, not an overnight unlock. So for long-term Tesla investors, the message is clear. Do not focus only on the headline. Watch the execution. Can Tesla expand from 42 robotaxi vehicles to hundreds? Can it do that safely? Can it reduce human intervention? Can it expand service areas? Can it win regulatory trust? And can FSD become a global high-margin software platform? That is the real question. Tesla's opportunity is still massive, but the next phase will be judged less by promises and more by proof. So as long-term investors, let's stay excited, but also stay disciplined. If you found this analysis helpful, please subscribe to Life in the Future for daily Tesla updates from an investor's perspective. Thanks for watching, and let's keep enjoying life with Tesla. Before we wrap up, let me take a moment to introduce myself. I drive a Tesla Model Y, and at home, I've installed a Tesla Powerwall, so I actually charge my car with solar energy. I truly believe Tesla is shaping the future, and that's why I share the latest news and insights here on this channel. I'm from Japan, but I want to connect with Tesla fans all around the world. That's why I also create an English version of my videos. YouTube now lets you switch the audio into your own language so you can enjoy it in whatever language you prefer. Most of all, I'd love to connect with Tesla fans everywhere so we can support Tesla together. I also share updates on X, so feel free to follow me there and let's connect. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.